We also have here with us ang ating mga friends from the BHROD. Of course, laging nandyan to assist us. Sir Cash Maghirang, the OIC Chief of the OED. And with him also, via Zoom, is Ma'am Pia Pangilinan and Ma'am Cecilia Chamson. So ayan po, welcome po at magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And now, we will proceed with the open forum proper. And for our first question, this may be answered, of course, by Dr. Dumlao of the School Health Division. And this is from Ma'am Nancy Villafuerte, Dalumpines, from the FB Live comment section. And the question is, for SDHCP program regarding dental chairs delivered in SDOs, in the event po na may technical problem sa dental chairs delivered post-installation, how will it be addressed considering po that the supplier and the installer is from NCR pa po? So, Ma'am Doc Dumlao, you may want to answer the question po.
We have in the guidelines on the school dental healthcare program on how to report and maintain the status of the different commodities. But you can, the school health division can facilitate if we have issues on this issues on repairs.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Dumlao, for answering the question po. Before we proceed with the next question, let me just reiterate and remind all our participants on board the Zoom and of course ang ating mga FB Live viewers, you can key in your questions po para po sa ating mga Zoom participants via the Zoom chat box, of course. And sa ating naman po mga FB Live viewers, you may type in your questions via the FB Live comment section po. So ayan po. And we have here a question from one of our participants on board the Zoom. And maybe I'll just read the question po. This is from Sir Tom Rolfe Sichon. And ang kanyang clarification regarding the demotion of Nurse 2 to Nurse 1 positions. So ayan po, once again, the question is, we need clarification regarding the demotion of Nurse 2 to Nurse 1 position. So yan po. Dr. Dumlao, you may want to answer po.
After our meeting with the DENA officials last year, we already prepared the necessary documents for submission to BHROD. We are proposing for reclassification from salary grade 15 or nurse 1 position to position, and a meeting conducted by BHROD with the DBM. So we move from there. Whatever documents that are needed for the proposed reclassification, we will work together with BHROD and our DENA officials.
Okay, marami pong salamat, Dr. Dumlao. We have here also yung ating friends from BHROD, Sir Cash Maghirang, you may want to add up to the answer of Dr. Dumlao regarding po sa question.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for Dr. Dumlao for answering the question already. However, we want to clarify that we requested a clarification meeting with DBM regarding the status of our nurse positions. And because of the law na nangyari at yung NBC circular, the retitling is not a demotion, but it's just a retitling of the positions because of the new entry-level position approved by the Supreme Court na SG 15 ang nurse 1 positions. Now, what will happen to the nurse 2 na na-retitle na automatically ng DBM per their GMIS or their information system na? So what will happen is that we are now requesting to DBM if it can be clearly classified to SG17. Now, yung budget that will entail an SG15 to SG17 will require for the 3,649 nurses it will require 401 million pesos for the first year for it to be reclassified. So we are looking for funds also, and also the justification why is there a need for a reclassification. We understand na it can be hindi maganda yung naging dating nung pag-retitle because yung mga entry-level positions ay naging ka-level na ng ating mga nurse 2, and we are working on it to defend to DBM na there's a need for our nurse 1 na ngayon ng mga positions to be reclassified to the new nurse 2 position. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Cash Maghirang of the OAD for that clarification, and of course for answering the question, Dr. Dumlao of the School Health Division. So yan po, before I would like to encourage all our Zoom participants to interact with us live by conveying your questions po verbally dito po sa ating live stream. So kung meron po kayong katanungan, of course para sa ating mga Zoom participants, maaari nyo po yan itanong live po dito po sa ating. For the next question po, this is for Dr. Dumlao from Ma'am Cecil Malingan Mayamo, and this question is from the FB Live comment section po natin, and the question is, will the secondary IUs be included in the provision of funds to improve the school clinics? So ayan po, Dr. Dumlao.
Pakiulit lang po. Pakiulit.
Okay po, I'll repeat the question po once again. The question is, will the secondary IUs?
IUs?
Yes, IU. Be included in the provision of funds to improve the school clinics?
Ano yung pa-clarify lang yung
Okay, Ma'am Cecil Malingan Mayamo, you may want to clarify ito pong ano po itong IU you are referring to. So we proceed once again to our next question before natin. Okay, so implementing unit. Okay po. Ating katanungan, will the secondary implementing units be included in the provision of funds to improve the school clinics?
For the established clinics in central elementary schools, we have targeted schools for that. And for the secondary schools, we did not include funds for the secondary schools.
Maraming salamat po, Doc Dumlao, of course, our chief from the School Health Division. And for our next question naman po, mula pa rin po sa ating FB Live comment section, at mula po ito kay Ma'am Claire Menda. So ang katanungan po niya ay, do we have an updated compendium of office functions for our medical and dental personnel?
Yes, there have been workshops conducted in the past with the HROD to update the functions.
Muli po maraming salamat, Doc Dumlao, for answering the question of Ma'am Claire Menda. Okay? At ang sunod po nating katanungan ay mula pa rin sa ating FB Live comment section po. At ito po ay mula kay Sir Marvin Asetre of Gingoog City Division. So ang kanyang katanungan po ay, matutuloy din po ba ang hiring of cook and food supervisor in support for the SBFP? Maraming salamat po, Doc Dumlao.
If you look at the school-based feeding program operational guidelines, hiring of cooks have already been integrated in the guidelines. So you can read that's DepEd Order 23 Series of 2020.
Okay, maraming po salamat sa inyo, Doc Dumlao, sa pagsagot po sa katanungan po ni Sir Marvin Asetre po. At muli po, ine-encourage ko po ang ating mga Zoom participants na pwede po kayong mag-interact with us by conveying your questions verbally po dito po sa ating live stream. And of course, yung ating mga FB Live viewers, you may key in your questions po sa ating pong FB Live comment section. Ayan po. So for our next question, mula pa rin po sa FB Live comment section, and this is from Sir Demosthenes Quinal. The question is, under COVID situation, may plan po ba to restructure the IPCR of the dentist, especially on dental health services to learners? Kasi walang mga learners sa school. Doc Dumlao?
We have challenges during the time of pandemic, and we are planning to come up with capacity building for online consultation for our health and nutrition personnel.
Ayan po muli, maraming po salamat sa inyong question. At inaanyayahan ko po muli ang ating mga participants on board via Zoom that you may verbally convey your questions and interact with us dito po sa ating live session po. And of course, dun po sa ating mga FB live viewers, you may key in or type in your questions po sa ating FB live comment section. Ayan po. And we have here actually a question from one of our Zoom participants, Sir Rodel Magnaye. At ang kanyang katanungan po ay, may we know the possibility to have a nutritionist and dietitian and HEPO items for SDO? So this may be answered, of course, by our SHG Chief, Doc Corazon Dumlao, and our OED Chief, Sir Cash Maghirang. But let this be answered first by Doc Dumlao po.
Okay, ulit lang po.
The question is, may we know the possibility to have a nutritionist and dietitian and HEPO items for the SDO?
Any proposal for additional items is subjected to discussions with the BHROD because it would entail cost. So we continue to come up with our recommendations, and we'll discuss it at the level of the central office and BHROD.
Yes, thank you so much, Doc Dumlao. Sir Cash Maghirang of the OED, you may want to add up.
We are in touch with the School Health Division, and actually this week we are meeting with some of the offices of OUA Strand, of Admin Strand, to discuss about the possibility of projects, yung hiring of contractuals for projects nationwide. And we have to ilagay na natin sa budget for 2022 kung ito ba ay pwedeng may budget circular kasi nilabas ang DBM at Civil Service on the from COS, contract of service, to contractuals for certain projects. And we are exploring the idea of if we can request DBM certain number of contractuals for nationwide projects such as tulad ng sa school health projects natin. Now, just to answer some of the questions ng kanina regarding the items na kikreate, like the nutritionist, dietitian, and the others, it's part of the review na ginagawa for the org structure ng mga schools natin. Right now, the BHROD together with other offices at Central Office is currently reviewing the org structure for the schools nationwide, kung ano elementary, junior high school, senior high school, because matagal nang hindi na-review ang org structure ng schools dahil hindi part ito ng rationalization natin noon. And these items, ano ba talaga yung standards na mga ilan dapat na positions per school, yan po yung i-discuss dito. And again, any request for DBM will entail, or any request for or items will entail budgets, corresponding budgets sa DBM. So kailangan iplano natin yan ng hindi lang first 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, kundi long term siya, because hindi ganun kadali mag-request at ma-approve ang mga items. Thank you.
Just for the record that in the past, we have submitted position papers to BHROD for additional items, but I agree with the Cash that we need to revisit again these proposals and come up with updated proposals for for all of these requests for additional items. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dumlao of the School Health Division, and of course, ang ating Chief from the BHROD, Sir Cash Maghirang, for answering po yung katanungan po ni Sir Rodel Magnaye. And for our next question naman po, ito po ay galing po sa ating FB Live comment section po. Mula po ito kay Sir Marcelino Madino. And the question is, I think this is addressed for Dr. Dumlao. Is there no budget for school health program for junior high school and senior high school learners? So, ang question po uli, is there no budget for school health programs for junior high school and senior high school learners? Dr. Dumlao?
For school health and nutrition budget, the secondary schools have their own allocation where they can use for the implementation of their school health and nutrition programs. But for service delivery, there are also divisions that deploy our nurses at the division office to accommodate secondary schools. There are also secondary schools who have their own health personnel so that they can also utilize their own budget for health and nutrition services.
Maraming pong salamat, Dr. Dumlao of the School Health Division. At bago tayo magpatuloy sa sunod na katanungan, let me just remind all the participants and viewers once again that you may access all the presentations. Of course, yung presentation kanina from the School Health Division, dun po sa ating SIPAG webpage. Ang ating website po is www.sipag2021.weebly.com. And of course, dun din po natin ma-access yung ating evaluation link, which will be opened and can be accessed right after this morning session. At ngayon po, sa sunod naman na katanungan po, ito naman po ay from our participant via Zoom. So, ang kanyang katanungan po, ito po ay mula pa rin po pala kay Sir Rodel Magnaye na kanina ay nagbigay na rin po ng katanungan. At ang kanyang tanong po ay regarding naman po sa WINS uploading. We have issue on items under hygiene group hand washing. There are no learners in schools. Are we waiving item number 32 and other related items which require the presence and participation of learners? So ulitin ko lang po yung tanong para maklaro po. We have regarding WINS uploading, we have issue on item under hygiene group hand washing. There are no learners in schools. So are we waiving item number 32 and other related items which require the presence and participation of learners? Doc Dumlao?
I would like to bring the focal persons on WINS back to the consultation that we have done last December, where we walk through the different indicators for the online monitoring system. And we have agreed that we will not change the OMS, but we'll look into the different indicators. And those that are not applicable, say for example, the absence of group hand washing activity, since we don't have learners in the school. We have agreed that if you already have a guidelines last year on this activity, then you can answer it as there is, because you already have guidelines for that. But if you think that there are other indicators that are not applicable, then you can, if for example you did not participate last year, you don't have yet guidelines for the group hand washing activity, you were not yet able to fully implement the group hand washing activity, you have a basis to say that you have guidelines for that. So you can just say not applicable.
Thank you so much, Doc Dumlao of the School Health Division. And before I proceed with the next question, muli po, inaayahan po natin ng ating mga participants on board via Zoom and ng ating viewers. Kayo po ay maaari pong magbigay ng inyong mga katanungan na you have to take this opportunity po, ito pong event na to para po ma-address at masagot ang inyong mga katanungan at inyong mga clarifications po. So for our next question po, mula pa rin po sa ating FB Live comment section at ito po ay mula kay Ma'am Cheryl Gutierrez. Ang kanyang katanungan po ay, actually this is a request. Sana po magkaroon din po ng medicine supply, lalo na po ang mga paracetamol pain reliever sa toothache, lalo na po sa mga last mile school. Kasi malayo po ang bayan para sa center. Ang mga bata, lalo na pag may pasok na po. This question may be, of course, answered by our good Undersecretary Alain Del B. Pascua and Doc Dumlao of the School Health Division po.
Yes po. If you remember in my presentation, I articulated the initiative of our Undersecretary Alain Del Pascua to prioritize the last mile schools and to ensure the provision of health corners, and that will include medicines, emergency medicines in this package. Thank you.
Much, Doc Dumlao, for answering the question po. And this next question, ito po ay maaari pong sagutin ng ating butihing Undersecretary Alain Del B. Pascua. And this is from the FB Live comment section po natin and from Sir Harry Ian Karagay. Ang kanyang katanungan po, what is the stand of the DepEd Central Office on the vaccination for frontliners?
Doc Cora, most probably, we have already submitted to the Secretary a draft policy proposal on the vaccination issue. So marami doon lahat. Kaya kung ang tanong ay ano ba stand natin sa vaccination, essentially yung katanungan kasi marami kasing ibig sabihin yung tanong na kon ano ba stand ng DepEd sa vaccination. Of course, number one is whatever is the position of the government, we will be supporting that position. At ano ba yung mga kailangan natin i-clarify para malaman nyo na essentially kung ano yung sagot ng DepEd. No? Ang tanong ba ay mandatory ba ang vaccination o voluntary? Ang tanong ba dyan is anong klaseng vaccine o whatever? Kasi masyadong broad yung tanong kung ano yung stand ng ang tanong ba masyadong malawak yung katanungan kung ano ang stand ng DepEd sa vaccination. We will pursue